We are so excited that this episode is brought to you by Kate Spade, New York. Are you ready for that summer state of mind? I'm currently in the summer state of mind, and Kate Spade, New York is right there with me. You know, this year, 2023, is the brand's 30th anniversary, and they're calling it their year of adventure. And the whole summer collection is based on the beach, and it's fabulous.
Jen, I almost freaked out when I saw that they were reissuing the Sam bag, the Sam icon. That was their first ever bag that they launched back in 1993. And you're going to find this cute little iconic boxy tote in shimmery ocean-hued sequins and more. You know that I'm a sucker for ocean-hued sequins. They're also doing the crochet raffia, which is a new fabrication that just really feels summery. This bright colored raffia, it's woven into totes, crossbody bags, and more.
There's also novelty seashell bags, starfish jewelry, and a new summery tweed take on the classic Katie bag. It's all like classics with a twist. So freaking cute. You can shop all of the Kate Spade New York summer collection at katespade.com. Okay, everyone, this podcast is sponsored by Relief Band. You know, Jess and I love keeping everything we need in like our little makeup bag or our purse, oil blotting papers, lipstick. You know what you need to put in there this summer? Relief Band. It's the #1 FDA-approved anti-nausea wristband. And it's been clinically proven, you know I love that, clinically proven to quickly relieve and effectively prevent nausea associated with motion sickness, even anxiety, migraines. You know how sometimes that can give you nausea, hangovers, all of these things that sort of tend to happen when the heat turns up in the summer and you want to have some fun.
Relief bands are essential, especially for kind of like, I'm going to say it, Jen, a gal on the go. I take the ferry to the city. I take the bus. I'm in traffic all the time. And relief bands really work. Honestly, I didn't know how they worked for a while, but they work.
In case it's not clear, it's like the name says. Relief Band is legitimately a band you wear on your wrist, and it gives you relief from nausea and uses technology that works with your body. It's safe, drug-free, zero side effects. It's really simple. So if you want to make uncomfortable nausea moments a thing of the past, check out Relief Band. Right now, we have an exclusive offer just for Fat Mascara listeners. If you go to reliefband.com and use the promo code FATMASCARA, you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping. So head to Reliefband, RELIEFBAND, reliefband.com, and use our promo code FATMASCARA for 20% off plus free shipping.
Hey everyone, it's Jessica.
Hi, it's Jen.
Okay, so listen, welcome to Fat Mascara, the best of. You have landed on a very new, very cool franchise. Yes, I used the word franchise.
Oh, we have a franchise.
New franchise.
Look at us. We're like people in Espanol.
Wow. Now
Just
I get it.
Big media brands with franchises.
Okay, I was like, what? I'm like, no, this is in English. So yeah, we have a franchise now. We were able to do this once we had a few hundred episodes under our belt. We realized that some of you are new to Fat Mascara, or maybe you came in around like episode 150 or 275 or 313. And it's a little intimidating to say, you know, to go back and think about which episode of Fat Mascara you want to like catch up on. It's like, well, you know what? You don't need to catch up on everything. Okay. You're busy people. We'll catch you up. We'll just give you the best of Fat Mascara.
Yeah. Also, we used to, I don't know if anybody remembers, we used to do the interviews as well as the news, as well as Raise a Wand, all in one big, like long, epic show every week.
Oh God, it was horrible.
No,
horrible.
I mean, the content was great, but like recording it was crazy. But some of those interviews are like with these huge, iconic beauty experts and beauty influencers. And they're sort of like put at the end of an episode where like we were talking about like the hot K-Beauty snail serum from 2018 or 17, you know?
Each episode really is like a time capsule. It's so funny. It's like, have you heard about this crackle nail polish stuff? Like, it was just so...
But as much as it is, the interviews themselves sort of stand alone because these are like the icons of the industry, the best of, some of the biggest founders and everything like that. So we wanted to bring them to you special, also make it a little more digestible, a little beauty snack for you on this Monday. So this is our very first Best of FM.
Okay.
Don't worry. We'll be doing them every other week, and I will not be explaining the concept every other week, so you don't have to sit through that.
Okay, so let's kick it off. Our first one is with the very important, very let's say like she is like, I don't like the word iconic, but she is like iconic when I think about the 2020s that we're in. Huda
Yeah.
Beauty.
She helped move beauty cultures from 2010 to 20. She was like one of the early bloggers.
Yeah.
And obviously today, she is the co-CEO of Huda Beauty.
Yeah.
So this was recorded back in 2022. Side note, little behind the scenes color for you. Huda was one of the first interviews we did with our new at-home recording setup during the pandemic. I do remember, like I've known her for years, so I wasn't nervous to see her, but I was so nervous because I was balancing. I literally put a table on my bed and then my microphone on the table because I was trying to get good sound quality in my bedroom, and it was very nerve-wracking. And of course, she was the most lovely and wonderful guest. So we have an interview with her. Jess, you remember this one, right?
Yeah. So she talks about how, like, she got fired and how that really kind of inspired her to kick off her new career, which obviously we all are very much aware of. And then since then, she's also launched a skincare line. So really inspiring conversation. I think that certainly one of my favorites. She's just a very inspiring person besides being an inspiring business owner. Jen, what did you think of the convo?
I think it's great. I'm ready for her to kick off our whole new Best of FM franchise. Huda Kattan, hello. How are you? Welcome to Fat Mascara.
Hi, finally. I've been dying to be on this podcast.
I know, and you're always traveling, and then it takes a worldwide pandemic for us to finally get you at home, get you on like the Zoom hangout and talk.
So true.
So you're in Dubai right now. How are things there? How are you doing? Where are you recording from?
So I have a makeshift office in my closet. That is kind of my only space that I get to myself, which has been really good. But yeah, I mean, it's been tough in Dubai and like everywhere in the world. I think everyone's kind of scared and wondering what's going to happen, how much, is it going to take before this gets better, what to do. Yeah. Been insane.
Well, we miss you in New York, but you know what I was thinking about? So you run this huge company, Huda Beauty, and you're based in Dubai, where a lot of global beauty companies are in New York or Tokyo or Paris. Yeah. Do you think that gives you like a unique perspective on beauty being there?
Do you know, it's so funny. Everybody's always like, so when are you actually going to move to New York? When are you actually going to move to LA? And I kind of like being here. I feel like it keeps me very focused. I'm away from the noise. I'm away from like all the data. There's always like so many things that you're supposed to do. I'm away from all that. I'm removed from it. So I don't really have any rules to follow. And I like that. I like that I don't have to, I don't have to launch things at certain times. Our markets where our offices are, like in London and in LA, they'll feed back to us. Well, we don't really think that's right. But at least I still am here, like, and I can kind of be away from everything. I can be like, well, I feel like it is right, or I think like let's try something, in between. I like being away from the noise.
Yeah, gives you focus.
A lot of people may not know that before you were Huda Beauty with this beauty empire, you were a working makeup artist, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually how I started. I didn't know I was going to become a blogger. I didn't know we were going to start a makeup brand. I knew that I was going to do makeup. Like the people that I was looking up to at the time were like Val Garland, Pat McGrath, Charlotte Tilbury, way before they had their makeup brands. And I just loved makeup. I love the artistry of makeup. I definitely was more into, originally when I first got into makeup, I was like, oh, I love the avant-garde. I love seeing like the Dior runway shows that Pat McGrath was doing. But then I started getting really into like beauty makeup, especially after I started my blog.
What do you mean by beauty makeup?
So like how to really manipulate people's like features, right? How to really understand, because the reality is in person, you may look gorgeous, but as soon as you take a photo, your features look flat. You look so different. So I started to understand how to manipulate features specifically for photography, which was so interesting to me. Like I didn't understand why I would see myself and be like, I look good. And then I take a photo and be like, oh my God, what is happening? I do not look the same. What is that? Like I didn't understand that. And I really started to understand that when I started doing my blog, and I was getting a lot of questions about that. Like people were like, I think my nose is cute as a button. And then I take a photo and I think it looks like flat and wide. And I'm like, well, that's because that has a lot to do with like the makeup, lightening, and like all those things just like flattening out. And so it became very interesting to me then. The whole idea of like how makeup artistry, contouring, moving the brows around, like doing certain things to your features just with makeup could like drastically change your features.
How did you learn all of this? Like, where did you train, or who taught you all these techniques?
I trained in a makeup artistry school. I trained with Joe Blasco. But, makeup artistry training is one thing, but then actually like going out there and doing it is like another. So I actually just started doing makeup on everybody who would allow me to. I like even like the girl who was working my buildings, like anybody who was around. I was just doing everyone's makeup for free. Everybody's makeup, all my friends.
And where were you at this point? Were you weren't in Dubai, right?
No, I was.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to LA and I studied makeup, but then I actually, I came back to Dubai.
Okay. And then when did you start your blog?
So the blog actually, what's today's date? 22nd. The 29th is going to be 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, April 29th, 2010.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so
Still
much.
on WordPress. It's just Huda typing away.
Yeah. Actually, true story. Originally, it was me and my girlfriend, one of my best friends who I was in university with. And, I was in Dubai, she was in Chicago, and I was like, oh no, we're going to make this work. And then we were never communicating. We were missing each other, and it took forever to get anything done. And then I was like, do you really want to do this? Like, you're more into fashion. I want to do the beauty side. And she was like, you know what? Like, why don't you do this on your own? And I was like, sure. She was like, yes. And then I ended up just changing it to Huda Beauty. It was the Beauty 411 at first.
Good name.
Thank you. But except for nobody knew what it was. Everyone was like, oh, Beauty 911, hi. And I was like, no, not 911.
Beauty 911.
No. Yeah, I was like, hello, emergency. No, it's like the, information. They didn't get that.
What do you think you were doing as the Beauty 411, not 911? That's so funny. That's something that would so happen. What do you think you were doing that differently? Because 10 years ago, there were, a lot of beauty bloggers.
Yeah.
They were all kind of samey. What were you doing so differently that you were named, the most influential person on the internet? And 5 years from starting your blog, really?
My beauty blog was definitely different from others. I feel like everybody was reviewing products, and they were reviewing that's really what it was. It was beautiful, these layouts of these beautiful shots that were it was about the lighting and the swatches and all of that. And mine was always meant to be the secrets of beauty. When you take a photo, I remember thinking about this, and I was so mesmerized with this idea of this photo shoot that I saw of this woman. And she was this model, and she looked stunning. And then they turned her around, and then she was pinned up, and everything was not so perfect. And I was like, wow, the illusion of beauty is actually quite interesting. And I feel like everybody's been kind of not lied to, but we haven't been exposed to that. And I found that really interesting. So I kind of wanted to not expose it, but share it with people that, beauty was something everyone had. They all had the ability to feel it. It's just that it's been, created a certain way, which is fine, because you can do that, but you could also go back to being you. Or maybe that is you, whatever it is. I just think that there was this illusion that beauty was not for everyone, which that was the thing that I was trying to break. I had a mission with that.
It's we want to let you in on the behind the scenes kind of secrets. And which feels very normal now, but you're right. 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. It was the glossy perfectness, and you didn't kind of know how it happened. But here we are. So 10 years later, okay, tell us, how many people work for Huda Beauty now? Before it was you and your friend in Chicago.
So now we are just under 200 people total globally. So we're still quite small.
But I mean, compared to just you being your own business, you run a business now. And Jess and I are always fascinated with people want to learn how to make their career better, how to run a business. What do you think is the biggest challenge of having 200 people that work for you, basically? I mean, I know you have investors and you have other people that help run the business, but what's so hard about that compared to being your own, just Huda on the WordPress,
I think one of the biggest challenges definitely is, especially being a founder, because, running a business and being a founder are two very different things. With a founder, a lot of times as a founder, you're kind of led by your intuition, your emotions, your creative vision. And as a business person, you're led by, balance sheets, P&L, the longevity of the business and the health of the business, as opposed to the vision of the business. And one thing always has to lead. I always lead first as a founder, always. I'm always a founder first. Both are very important to me, but one is by far, more important. And so it is challenging, because as we grow the team, it's always really important to me that people protect the vision, that they understand that, we may not make the same decisions that everyone else makes. We are by no means a normal company. I say 200 and it sounds like it's big for many people, but in the beauty industry, we're still very small. Especially for a makeup brand and now having skincare and also fragrance, we're still quite small. But I think the ability to allow everybody to have access to me, the vision, all these things is kind of what helps keep us nimble.
So you've also spoke about how getting laid off. Well, first I want to know about where you got laid off from, but was a good thing.
I was fired.
I've seen it reported both ways. Okay, here we go. She was fired.
Yeah, I was straight up fired. Yeah.
So we're in a time right now of great job insecurity, to put that lightly.
Yeah.
When were you fired, and how was that a good thing for you?
So I was fired in March of 2008. And I remember being really, was it 2008? No, it was 2009. Sorry, it was 2009. It was 2009. It was March 2009. I just moved to Dubai. I was pretty devastated, to be honest. It was following everything going on in 2008 in the financial crisis. And honestly, I was shocked.
You worked in financial recruiting, right?
Yeah, I was not in finance. I was in financial recruitment. My degree was in finance, but I hate finance. I hate it. I'm like, ugh, like it makes sense to me, but like, ugh, like I don't like it. It doesn't fuel my fire. And I like to work. I'm like, there's different kinds of people. Everybody likes to work differently. I love to live to work. I love it. I love to have passion for it. I love to have fun with it. I love to be friends with my colleagues. I like to have that kind of ecosystem. Like I love to feel like we're all in it together and it's like fun. And I love that. So I knew like after I got fired, like I was like, I am not going to do something again that I'm not super passionate about because I give everything. Like it has to be something I'm super passionate about. I remember one of my friends at the time, he was like debating quitting his job. And he was like, maybe we should start a PR company together. And I was like, you know what, let's do it. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, I don't like PR. I don't want to do PR. I'm going to give my everything into this. So I was like, I'm going to not do this. So I was like, I'm sorry. Don't want to do this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but this is not it. Like, sorry. Like, don't quit your job. Stay where you are. And then I ended up doing makeup.
But before you got passionate for what you wanted to do, was there any way you reframed? Like you just got fired. Like how did you like pick yourself up the next day to be like, all right, I got to keep moving, Because
a lot of people are going to be in that boat now.
It's tough. I was definitely depressed. It's hard because, there's so many, like I felt depressed and I felt angry and I was like, how could this have happened to me? It was like not right. And, there were so many emotions. I think you go through all these emotional stages, like where you're like, you're mad and you're sad and then you're lost and you feel helpless. And the reality is that it happened. That's it. You got to accept it and you got to move on and you got to think forward, not backward. And what is there for you next? What is the thing that is going to, be there for you next? And whether we realize it or not, everything that, most of the things that happen, there's always an opportunity out of it. And I didn't realize it at the time because I was like, this is just devastating. I've been working so hard. I've been working on weekends and like, I remember saying this to myself, I know this was a good thing. I can't feel that yet. I feel so like upset and concerned with like why it happened. Obviously the situation right now is so much more dramatic with what's been going on. Like, honestly, like it's like, I think right now everyone's worried about their health and it's so much more like even more dramatic than, anything it could have been within the financial crisis. But it was challenging at the time.
Yeah, no, I think there's a tendency to immediately start asking why, go back through everything that happened, focus on the past. And you are a woman who moves forward.
For sure.
I mean, that's clear, at least from your company. You started out with like lashes and now there's like fragrance, skincare, makeup. I wanted to talk to you about your products a little bit. So you recently started a skincare line. We're going to talk about makeup too, but with just one product. And I was like, look at the balls on Huda. Just one product. Is this what she's going to give us? And it was an exfoliator, which I thought was really interesting because like a cleanser or a moisturizer, everybody knows how to use those. It's more universal. Why didn't you do something more basic? Why'd you go right for like, I'm going to do an enzyme exfoliator with multiple things going on?
Let me tell you, I got dragged by internally, I got dragged by a lot of our partners. Not everyone, but a lot of our partners were like, what are you doing? This is not going to be successful. You got to do moisturizer. This is just like, nobody does scrub. And they were like, this is not going to be your number one product. Like, it's just like, it's not going to be a powerful product. We expect everything else to be more successful. And I disagree. I think this is going to be really, it has been really successful, but I actually think this is going to be one of our biggest SKUs too forever. And I have a lot of plans on how to make that happen. But I believe in the product. This is like, for me, one of the first things within skincare that I had. It kind of bridged the gap between my skincare and my makeup. I actually use this product before I apply makeup. I use it because I apply so much makeup. So for me, it kind of bridged the gap between skincare and makeup for myself. So I felt like it made a lot of sense. Doing a moisturizer, which we will eventually do a moisturizer. But it has to feel like there's a reason behind it. Like, what is my obsession with moisturizer right now? What do I feel like I'm missing? Because the reality is there's so many amazing products out there. Why, if we launch something, is it going to make a different, like, why is it worthy of being here? We're not that business to have like a ton of like products, and I don't want to ever be that business where we have like 5,000 SKUs or 3,000 SKUs. I don't want to be that business. It's too much. I don't like messy things.
Okay, everyone, summer is such a busy time, especially if you're trying to stay fit. But Aloe Moves has us covered here at Fat Mascara. I don't have to go anywhere with Aloe Moves because it's a streaming on-demand wellness platform with yoga practice, fitness routines, all of that. You can fit it in your schedule. You can pop it on your computer, do it anytime. And it's not just workouts. They also have gua sha, facial fitness, how to do face yoga, how to do dry brushing. Jess, what classes have you been taking from Aloe Moves?
I take, honestly, anything that's 20 minutes or less. Anything I can just stop in the middle of the day and be like, all right, I'm going to do this. It's 20 minutes. You spend 20 minutes like going to the bathroom and getting a snack. In that time, you could have done a restorative yoga practice, a desk stretch, a back opener. You could have meditated. And all of this I do in like just sweatpants and a top that's not even like exercise top sometimes. Just easy, no equipment.
In the comfort of your own home. And best of all, we have such a good deal for you. Our sponsor is so generous. This is amazing. Listen to this. This summer, make time for your wellness goals with Aloe Moves. For a limited time, Aloe Moves is offering you, our listeners, a free 30-day trial. Plus, get this, 50% off the annual membership. But you can only get it by going to aloemoves.com, ALOMOVES.com, aloemoves.com, and use the code MASCARA, all caps. You're going to get a free 30-day trial, then 50% off an annual membership. Again, it's aloemoves.com. The code is MASCARA in all caps. You get a free 30-day trial, 50% off your annual membership, aloemoves.com, code MASCARA. You got to do it right now. You said you made an exfoliator because you use makeup. Are you connecting the two? Like, if you wear a lot of makeup after you cleanse, exfoliation is important?
The reality is, like, I like, as you do more to your skin, you need to take more care of your skin. And I had adult acne, and I think the reason why I had adult acne is because I started touching my face so much. And so I started doing so many things, trying so many new products. And so I started becoming very conscious of the fact that your skin is your largest organ and it needs to be balanced. It needs to be calm. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want to do to it and think it's just going to be clear and even. You're going to wake up with like supermodel skin and it's going to be perfect. Like, no, it's like, and that is like, genetically, some people, yes, maybe amazing. Good for you. I was not one of those people.
Now, Huda, you also just had another major launch, the mascara.
Yes.
Mascara is notoriously hard to formulate. Tell us about that. What was the hardest thing about getting this to market?
For me, the hardest thing about mascara is just the fact that, like, I don't want to launch a new mascara every year. And like our beauty products are so personal to me. Like, I have to love it. I have to love it. I have to want to only use it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not every consumer. I have to make sure that the consumers who are loving the products that we're launching will love these products and they will fit into that kind of that whole, trajectory of products. I do not have lashes. I don't know if you guys can see me right now. I don't have lashes. I have sparse lashes and, so I've always wanted crazy voluminous lashes. And so I wanted to do a mascara that would kind of be able to live longer than a year. A lot of brands will launch a mascara and then a year later they're like, okay, we improved it. Now here's another version of it. Or here is they continuously improve. And what I told my team is if we have to launch another mascara within a year or two, then we did something wrong.
Right.
I want this to be the mascara that lasts at least 4 years. And that was very challenging for my team. I almost thought we weren't going to launch a mascara because of that. But it's amazing. It's really impactful within seconds. And it gives you, very sexy lashes.
I was just thinking about something. As we're talking at the top, just about like what makes you different with like the WordPress blog and everything, you really honed in on what makes you special. You know, not everyone listening to this show wants to start a beauty company, but you really honed in on like what makes you different and what makes you, while some people may think like, oh, well, maybe me being different is not an asset, you made it into an asset. Do you have any advice for people on how they can find sort of their secret sauce?
Not for a long time. I didn't actually understand it was an asset, though. You know, it's hard. It's hard to be, to be accepted and to be comfortable being different. I found out, I'm a rebel. I didn't realize that for a long time. And I have a life coach who I've worked with really closely, and she told me, she helped me realize that I was a rebel. So when people would tell me I need to do things, I'd be like, no. And I didn't know why. And for the longest time, it's kind of counterintuitive because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be like loved and appreciated, and I wanted to feel beautiful. And I had all these weird emotions about being weird and being not normal because my family were like immigrants, and I just felt like just not part of society.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, it hindered me. It made me like scared of being different. And I hated that. Like I hated feeling like I was an outsider. And so I had this really weird kind of like tug of war because I was very rebellious in my approach. I was like, well, why is this person right with what they're saying? Like they're just making the rules. Why can't I make my own rules? But then I felt like the need to like please everyone around me.
You were like afraid to push back on that.
I was afraid to speak out about it. But I had like a lot of my own internal feelings about it. And I felt like I wasn't able to express myself like artistically for the longest time because of that. So it took me a long time to actually get to the place where I felt comfortable being different, where I felt like that being different is actually my USP. It's my unique selling point. It's what makes me special. It's why you should come to our brand. It's why you should be consuming our content. But it took me a while to get there.
Was there anyone who helped push you in that direction? I mean, surely it was before the life coach, right? The life coach probably came after Huda Beauty.
Yeah, she came during Huda Beauty. She's been with me for about 5 years now.
Okay.
I mean, at one point, true story, I started seeing her every day. And she was like, no joke. And when I told her, I was like, there's so much going on in my outside world. My inside world is not coping. It's not able to catch up. And, she's really been phenomenal for making sure that happened. And the biggest thing for me was doing all of that work and realizing what was going on and why I was having all those issues.
I have never heard another person say that they're both a rebel and a people pleaser. And I really am identifying with you on that. It's like a weird mix, right?
It is. And like you have this internal tug of war because like part of you is like, oh, I want you to be happy, but like I also don't agree with you.
So Huda, how did you nail that personality type? Because like I want to know if there's like a quiz we can take online. Like how did you get down to this?
So there's actually this really interesting book. I think it's by Gretchen Rubin called, is it Gretchen Rubin? The Four Tendencies?
Four Tendencies.
Yes.
Yes. I'm an obliger.
Yes. You're an obliger. I'm a rebel, like hardcore rebel.
I need to read that and find out what I am.
So I'm going to put a link to the quiz. There is a quiz online. Okay. When you said rebel, I was thinking, oh, that's like Gretchen Rubin. But I was like, oh, I bet your like life coach has some kind of like custom thing for you.
No, she made me read the book. She actually made me read the book. And I was like, oh, shit, this explains everything.
Okay. So that's amazing. All right. So I'm going to put a link to it. We can all go the Huda way.
Back to the business. Obviously, being a rebel has served you well, it seems. So you launched the mascara. We were just talking about the production process and how when you knew you had the right formula. But I'm curious about that. I've watched a couple episodes of Huda Boss, and I know you're very picky about formulas. So how do you know when it's time? Like we know, and our listeners know the background of how it works. You'll get them from the lab. It's not right. Tweak it again. Get it from the lab. It's not right. I bet you could keep tweaking for the next 10 years. So how do you decide this is the one?
With mascara specifically, and all products, right? It's not just a formula, right? It's like how the formula acts with the applicator, how long it dries, how the certain ingredients within it react as it dries, and in mascara specifically, how that layers, right? As it does that. And so, oh God, we found an amazing formula originally that was so voluminous, but then some of the fibers that were in it were clumping. And so we had, I think, like a certain shape of fiber. So we had to change the shape of the fiber and the length of the fiber. We had to redo the brush and like remold the brush. And it was just, I mean, these things take a long time. There's a lot to it. And it's like getting the right application. I'll be honest, like some people will have a better application than others. Yeah, that's just fact. We made it specifically for people who have sparser lashes and who want like volume and length. Like Mona, for instance, has a ton of lashes, but they're shorter and they're curled. So she may not want all that volume because she has so many lashes. If she has a lot of volume and they're curled lashes, she's going to look like she has like, little like things growing on her eyes. But for the majority of people who don't have all that density of lashes and want that length, we believe that we're really going to be able to nail it for majority of the people.
And say you're not making a makeup product and someone else has another job completely and they've got a project. I have this trouble where I'm like, can I turn it in yet? Is it done? Like I want to keep messing with it. How do you get like an internal feeling of like, okay, it's ready, or are you always questioning still?
No, I feel like I know, but I think it's probably hard for my team to know because everything for me is a mood. Everything is a mood. It's like, what is the mood that I feel here? If I feel like it's something that I don't like, I'm like, ooh, no. And they're like, what is the mood?
So it's like your gut.
Yeah, it's my gut. But I'm like, it reminds me of this really bad thing that I saw on this one TV show and this one woman, and I don't like it. And people are like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, this is the mood. And then it's like, it feels like a vibe. And so that can be, I think, challenging working with someone like myself when it's like that. But my team is actually so creative and so amazing. They like the challenging.
I think that's just kind of inherent in founder-led brands, right? Because it's so personal and it's so about their
personal
instinct and their intuition. Like you have to kind of be a mind reader. Like you can't get in their head. So it's always a mood, right? With the founder brand.
It is.
So speaking of mood, let's talk about you personally and what beauty you're loving right now. First up, this is going to be a hard one, but like 3 products. You only get 3 products. What's your mood right now? What are you bringing in your makeup bag?
I live for our Yo Glow, like enzyme, the scrub. I live for that. Like I literally have 2 right here. I keep them with me. I have them all over my house. I live for this.
Oh, so 2 out of your 3 products are going to be the Yo Glow?
Oh, no. Okay, 1. Sorry.
Okay, 1.
Yeah. One of those. I really like a good hair mask. So the Briogeo, the deep, the hair mask that they have, I actually have it in my hair right now. I live for that.
And then what do? You just put it in your dry hair and you like do your biz?
Yeah, I brush it and then I put it in my dry hair and then I'll wash it out at night. I like to sleep with my hair wet. I know that's weird.
No, I do too.
It makes me go to sleep.
I think it's fine. People, I don't think it's that weird. It's like, are you in that? You're a night shower?
I am a night shower. I shower before I go to bed.
Right. So then your hair's wet. There you go. But you have a hair mask in your hair all day while you go about your business?
Yeah, and my hair, like my stylist told me my hair has changed so much just from doing this. I just basically do it for like half a day. And sometimes I'll also throw in like the Kopari. This is not one of my products, but I do love it. The Kopari coconut melt, I'll put that in my hair as well. I'm like, oh my God, it's a dream.
Wait, but like it's not a hair mask. It's just like a coconut lotion.
Yeah, just coconut oil. Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Doesn't count. So that's 2 products. You're good.
3 products? Are you kidding me right now?
I was like, if I ask her what she likes right now, I know Huda, there's going to be 100 things. So I'm going to limit you.
A lip balm, a really bomb lip balm. I do like the Kopari. I really like the Summer Fridays as well. Those are really good.
Okay. And then before we let you go, we're going to hit you with the Fat Mascara 5 questions that we feel will be very revealing to our guests about who you are. There's nothing too deep. Don't worry. Okay. First beauty product you fell in love with?
Revlon lipstick. Back in like the 90s. I don't remember the shade. It was probably like a
Toast of New York.
Probably. It was probably like definitely like a brownish, pinkish, purplish, but I don't remember.
Okay. Favorite ice cream flavor?
I am a fool for mint chocolate chip. Like if that was my last meal request, that would be it. I'm very happy with mint chocolate chip.
Yum, yum, yum. Me too.
Which I know is polarizing.
You know, people who don't like it, they really don't like it. But I feel like most people like it. Like that, I would say that's our most popular response, mint chocolate chip. Don't you think, Jen?
I think so. And then we always ask them if they like the green or the white version.
I like that old Baskin Robbins green with like the brown chocolate chips. I love it.
Yes. Good answer.
It's my favorite.
What's the song that pumps you up? If you're going out, getting ready, you need to like get psyched.
Why Don't You Love Me from Beyonce.
Ooh.
Why? I don't know.
What do you do to relax? Like you're winding down from a big Huda Beauty board meeting.
I actually do a lot of relaxing. I'll be honest. I like to get massages, baths. Like I'm all about a nice bubble bath. Like anything. I think you can relax all the time. I'm really big on like just like being like Zen whenever you can.
Okay, cool. And then what we have at Fat Mascara, we're always about raising a wand. Raising a wand, what are you obsessed with? What are you loving? What would you raise a wand to right now?
I feel like right now, through everything that's going on right now, like there's a lot of like people talking about mental health. There's a lot of opportunities to dig into ourselves and to get better. One of the things that what my life coach talked to me about was like the fact that we are all in, a lot of us are in the state of avoidance. And right now we're kind of not being able to do that. And it can be really healthy if we actually, take the time to do that, despite everything that is going on, there's so many terrible, horrible things. But that moment of actually being with yourself, which we always avoid all the time. I am kind of into that right now. Like, I feel like I have come through this. Like, this has been really hard on so many levels for so many people we know really closely. Some of us have lost loved ones, but that moment of being able to just be with yourself, we don't always get that chance. And I feel like, when this, hopefully passes, when will we also have that? Like there's growth to be made here. Like personally, I know that's like probably not necessarily the answer that I think a lot of people would expect, but this is like part of the time and we need to do that.
I love that. And I think you're right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for your patience, for doing this with us. You are the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, my loves.
And maybe we'll see you in person again someday soon.
I know. I hope so. Bye, my loves. You guys are so awesome.
Thank you, Huda. We love you.
Love you more. Thank you, my loves.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Raise a Wand product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.